All right, today we're talking about starting doing our decimal multiplication by decimals. Today we're just going to kind of talk about how we get there, because sometimes we wonder why numbers are the way they are, and this way you can see how they are. So our first one today. The distance from Charlene's house to her school is 0 and 8/10 of a mile, or 8/10 of a mile. If she rides her bike 7/10 of the distance and walks the rest of the way, how far does Charlene ride her bike to school? Okay, so we're going to take this and do two things. We are going to make our base 10 blocks. What we talked about earlier today, each single box is 0.01. It's 1/100th of all of the hundreds. Okay? The next part is if we have 10 of them, it is 0.1, 1/10. Now, if it helps you, you could always go like that, because then you know there's 10 of them. Okay? But the difference between 0.01 and 0.10 is 9/10. We want to make sure that we understand that those are two separate things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 0.7 miles. Okay, our 7/10 of a mile. We are going to take that. I'm going to make a highlighter here. And we are going to take that and look going east to west, left to right. I'm going to color in 7/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to color all the way over, because that's 7/10. Each row is 1/10. So let me get this colored in. The longest part of today is coloring all this stuff in. Alright, so there's my 7/10. Now, my next step, I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to look. I have 0 and 8/10. So I have 8/10 there. So I'm going to come back, I'm going to make it yellow. Now I'm going to do 8/10, but this time I'm going to go up and down instead of left to right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to come up. What's nice, you can see. See ya, Alex. What's nice is this. With this, you can see now. We are looking for the colors where they overlap, and that's going to be the answer to our problem. I forgot to make this one bigger. So where it's yellow and where it's blue, we're not worried about that. But what we do want to worry about here is where both colors overlap each other. In class today, we used 2 colored pencils so we can see where it changed. Now, we need to count those up. 1, and we can do it one of 2 ways. We know that this way, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because we have 8 right here. This way, we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goes this way, because that's our blue. So we count them up. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. So our answer is 0 and 56 hundredths. Okay, now I know some of you are saying, but why don't we just multiply them? Okay, that's going to be great. But for this one it works, and the next couple. But it's not always going to work. Okay? This is the sheet we used today in class to practice. We'll just fill it in as we go. So I'm going to start. 0 and 8/10 is going to be on the side. 0 and 4/10 is going to be on the bottom. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to shrink the screen just a little bit because it's a lot easier for me to do it this way. So I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to color all of those in. Oh, I don't want that. Now I'm going to use my yellow again. So now I have 0.4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go all the way up. So now I have 4/10. So then again, all we're going to do is we're going to count them up. We know that going across is 4, going up and down is 8. What do you like to count by? I like to count by, I am going to count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 32. Wait a minute. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. So we're going to get 0 and 32 hundredths. It's been a long day. All right, let's try the next one. The next one is 0 and 1/10. So we're going to put that guy over here, 0.1. And then down here we're going to put 7/10. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my highlighter. We'll go yellow. This is a tough one. 1/10, so we're going to color one row. All right, so we're going to do 7/10 in our bluish color. So we'll start up there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Color this guy in. So now we're going to look. This is where we're going to count right here. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this is where we get screwed up. I only have 7. So I know a lot of people today yelled 0.7, it's 0.7, it's 7/10. It's not 7/10. It is 7/100. Because there's only 7 little blocks there. If it was 0.7, it would be all this blue. Okay, so that's one of the tricky parts we have to remember. Okay, all right, let's try the next one here. So I have 0 and 3/10. And I have 0 and 4/10. So I'm going to go back to my highlighter. 1, 2, 3. We go across like this. And then I have 0 and 4/10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come up here like this. So we can count these up. Again, we can go 3, 6, 9, 12. 4, 8, 12, or we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 0 and 12 hundredths. All right. Now we're going to get to the part where it gets a little bit different. Okay, now we have a whole number. Okay, we have a decimal greater than 1. So we're still going to put our 0.3 right here. But now we're going to put a 1 and 4/10 down here. We're going to do our first number, our 3/10, the exact same way. But we need to apply that to both base 10 blocks. So I fill in my first one. Then I fill in my second one. So I have 3/10 on both base 10 blocks here. Now I have 1 and 4/10. This first one, because I have 1, I'm going to color the entire box in because it is a whole. So I'm going to color it all in. Okay, so I got my first one. Now I still have 4/10. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go right here. Now I need to count up my spots. Okay, so I count my boxes. Well, I know this is 3 times 10, so that's 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So my answer becomes 0 and 42 hundredths. So now this is where people say, but wait a minute, Mr. S. How does it get smaller if we're multiplying? Because when we multiply with decimals, our numbers are going to get smaller because the decimal is smaller than a whole. All right. I have 4/10 and 1 and 6/10. So again, we can go back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have to make sure that I do this to both. I'm going to do this to both base 10 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need to change my color. I'm going to do 1 and 6/10. So I know that I'm going to cover the whole thing in this first one. Make it bigger real quick. And now I have 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we're going to count our ones that are covered with both colors. So again, we know this is 40. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4. So I have 40 and 24, which is going to give me 64 hundredths. All right, one more. So I have 0 and 5/10, and I have 1 and 2/10. First one I'm going to do is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to come across. have to do it to both spots. And then I have a hole, so I got to cover that whole guy up here. No, don't want that. Back there. And then we have 2/10, so 1, 2. So we count up our spots that are colored by both colors. So 5 times 10 is 50. 52, 54, 56, 58. Zero and 60 hundredths. So the homework tonight was a worksheet. It was 4-15. There were 6 questions, and then take a picture of it when you were done coloring your boxes. All right, tomorrow we will dive into decimals, multiplication with decimals without these pictures. Have a wonderful